The phone rings and you don't recognize the number. You pick up anyway, because what if it's important? And the voice on the other end is urgent, official sounding, maybe a little scary. Your social security number has been suspended. There's been suspicious activity on your bank account. You owe back taxes, and there's a warrant out for your arrest. You need to act right now. Press 1 to speak to an agent. Do not hang up. And something in your chest tightens. Your hand grips the phone a little harder. Your mind is racing. Is this real? What if I ignore it and it's actually true? What if I hang up and something terrible happens? That frozen feeling, that split second where you can't decide what to do, that is not an accident. That is a weapon, and it is aimed directly at you. And here's what nobody talks about, the part that comes after. Whether you stayed on the line, whether you gave them something, whether you almost did but caught yourself at the last second, there's this quiet shame that follows you around. You think, how did I almost fall for that? I'm not stupid. I've been around. I know better. And you don't tell your kids because you don't want them to look at you differently. You don't tell your friends because you don't want to be the cautionary tale. You just carry it. I want to tell you something, and I need you to really hear it. You were not weak. You were not gullible. You were polite. You were trusting. You were raised right. And these people, these criminals, they have spent years, sometimes decades, learning exactly how to turn your good manners against you. They know that people your age were taught to be respectful on the phone. They know you were raised not to be rude, not to just hang up on someone. They know you take responsibilities seriously, and that when someone in authority tells you there's a problem, you want to fix it. They are not guessing at that. They are counting on it. The shame belongs to them, not to you. My name is Frank Doyle. I spent 25 years working federal cyber fraud and financial crimes investigations before I retired. I've sat across the table from people who ran these operations, people who built entire call centers in foreign countries for the sole purpose of calling Americans over 60 and taking everything they had. I've studied the scripts they use. I've listened to the recordings. I've traced the money. I know how these calls are built, beat by beat, and I know exactly where they fall apart. I'm not here to sell you anything. There's no course, no subscription, no product at the end of this. I'm here because the information I'm about to give you is real, it works, and almost nobody is teaching it, and that bothers me. You deserve to know this. So let me tell you what I know. Here is the single most important thing I can tell you about phone scams, and I want you to sit with it for a second because it changes everything. The phone is their weapon, not yours. When that call comes in, you feel like you're on the back foot, like they have all the power and you're just trying to figure out what's happening. But think about what they actually need from that call. They need you to stay on the line. That's it. Everything they say, the urgency, the fear, the authority, the time pressure, every single word is designed to do one thing: keep you talking. Because the moment you get off that phone, their script is dead. Let me say something nobody says out loud. Falling for a scam doesn't make you foolish. It makes you human. These cons are engineered to bypass good judgment. That's their whole job. The only real mistake is staying silent out of embarrassment, because silence is exactly what these criminals need to keep going. So let's take their power away, together. I've gathered every major scam, the calls, the emails, the fake pop-ups, the friendly strangers, into one free guide. No lectures, no shame, just what to look for. Scan the code or click the link below. Knowledge isn't weakness, it's armor, and today you put it on. They can't pressure someone who isn't there. They can't confuse someone who has walked away. They have no power over you once the call ends. Once you understand that, you already know how to beat them. The whole game changes. Now I want to be honest with you about something that makes a lot of people angry when they hear it. These scams keep working, not just because the criminals are clever, but because the systems that could stop them have very little financial reason to do so. The phone carriers that let spoofed numbers through. The gift card companies that don't flag a 68-year-old woman buying $500 in Google Play cards. The wire transfer services that move the money before anyone can catch it. None of them are evil. But none of them are losing money on this either. You are. The banks will sometimes, claw back a fraudulent wire transfer if you catch it fast enough. Sometimes. But the infrastructure to actually stop these calls before they reach you? It exists, in pieces, but nobody's in a hurry to build it out. Because building it costs money. And you not getting scammed doesn't generate revenue. That's a hard truth. It means the defense has to come from you. And that is exactly why I'm here. Because you can defend yourself completely with something that costs nothing and takes about 3 seconds. Let me explain how a scam call is actually built, because once you see the structure, you can't unsee it. These scripts are engineered around one principle: continuous pressure. They need the emotional temperature to stay high from the moment you pick up to the moment you give them what they want. If the temperature drops, if you get calm, if you get time to think, if you talk to someone else, the spell breaks. So every element of the call is designed to prevent that. The urgency, the authority, the fake badge number, the threats, the "do not hang up or you will be arrested." And here's the key thing about all of that. Every single piece of it depends on you staying on the phone. The script has no chapter 2 that takes place after you hang up. There's no, "and then we call back with a different angle." There's no follow-up plan. The whole thing is built like a card house. It looks solid while it's standing, but pull one card and it collapses. That card is 3 words: "I'll call back." You say it, you hang up, and the entire engineered structure falls apart. Not because those words are magic, because hanging up is the one thing they built the whole script to prevent you from doing. Let me walk you through exactly what to do, step by step, because I don't want there to be any confusion here. First, you feel pressure. That's your signal. Real organizations, the IRS, your bank, Social Security, Medicare, they do not call you and demand you act right now or face consequences. Pressure on a phone call is a red flag, full stop. The moment you feel it, you know what you're dealing with. There are hundreds of scams out there and you can't memorize them all. But here's the secret. You don't have to. Almost every single one shares the same fingerprint. They rush you. Act now. Don't tell anyone. It expires today. Real life gives you time to think. Criminals never do, because thinking is their enemy. So whenever you feel pushed to act this very second, stop. That pause is your superpower. I've gathered every warning sign into one free, easy guide that works for any scam you'll ever face. Scan the code or click the link below. Slow down, stay safe, and pass it on to someone you love. Second, you say the phrase. Say it out loud with me. I'll call back. That's it. 3 words. You don't explain yourself. You don't argue. You don't try to catch them in a lie. You don't ask for their name or badge number, because they'll have one ready, and it will sound very official, and it will just pull you back in. You say, "I'll call back," and then you do step 3. Third, you hang up. Not in a minute. Not after one more question. Right now. You end the call. Fourth, and this is critical, you find the real number yourself. You look at the back of your bank card. You look at your Medicare card. You look at your most recent bill. You find the number that you know is real, and you dial it yourself. That is the only callback that matters. Here is what you absolutely do not do. You do not call back the number that called you. You do not press 1 to speak to an agent. You do not give them your Social Security number to verify your identity. You do not stay on the line while they transfer you to a supervisor. You do not go buy gift cards because a government agency told you to. No real government agency on earth will ever ask you to pay in gift cards. Ever. And you do not let them keep you on the phone while you drive to the ATM. If someone is on the phone with you while you are standing at an ATM, that is a scam. Full stop. Walk away from the machine. I want to be straight with you about one thing, because I think you deserve honesty more than you deserve a perfect sales pitch. This method, the 3 words and the hang-up, it stops the call. It ends the pressure. It gives you back your footing. What it can't do is stop them from calling in the first place. If your number is on a list, and if you're over 60, there's a reasonable chance it is, they may call again. They may call from a different number. And every time, you'll have to use the same defense. That part doesn't go away overnight. But here is what I want you to write down, or screenshot, or tell your spouse tonight at dinner. The scammer's only power is your presence on the line. You take that away, you win. Every single time. That's it. That's the whole thing. So here is what I want you to do in the next 10 minutes. Go find the customer service number on the back of your debit card or credit card. Put it in your phone right now under a name like Real Bank Number. Do the same for Medicare if you're enrolled. That number is 1-800-MEDICARE. You can look it up. Takes 30 seconds. Having those numbers ready means when a scam call comes, you already know exactly where to look. You're not scrambling. You're ready. And if you've ever had a moment on the phone where something felt off, or if you know someone who has, I want to hear about it. Tell me in the comments what happened. You might help someone else recognize the same thing. Next time, I'm going to show you the exact wording scammers use in text messages, and the one word in a text that should make you delete it immediately without responding. I'll see you there.